parents are not currently home right now, and because of this, my dogs always just kind of really freak out. Like, every little noise, they end up barking over just because my parents aren't home right now, and it's way worse when the gardener's here. Now, consider yourself lucky the gardener isn't here. They made a video when my gardener was here. I think it was called, like, kind of out of ideas, and my dog Ruby just wouldn't shut up, and I even ended up ending the video to tell her to shut up. But yeah, I think it goes without saying, a little bit of a warning, my dogs are probably going to be barking throughout this video the entire time. There's legitimately nothing I can do about it. So, Harry Potter, it's, you could honestly call it the biggest piece of children entertainment ever. It truthfully is. Each movie that they've made, I think they've made 10 movies of Harry Potter so far, and I honestly believe there's only 2 movies that haven't gotten over $1 billion in the box office. It is a massive franchise. Even if you don't watch Harry Potter, I'm sure you know who Harry Potter is, you know who Voldemort is, you know who Ronald Weasley is, Dumbledore, Hermione Granger. You know these characters. It has the same level of fame as freaking franchises like Star Wars, franchises like Grand Theft Auto. It's the movie series of those, even though Star Wars is also a movie. It's the child version of Harry Potter. What the frick am I saying? I like cannot talk. It's like the child version of Star Wars, except it's not galactic. It has that same appeal, I guess. And recently, throughout the summer, I've gotten really into Harry Potter. I've watched pretty much every Harry Potter movie. The only ones I haven't watched are new ones with Dumbledore. Probably not going to watch them either, to be honest. I'm just not really invested in them whatsoever. And as any Harry Potter fan usually does, I found out about JK Rowling and some of the many things she said in the past. Now, I'm not a political guy. I don't care about politics, and so I'm not going to once bring up my personal opinion on whether what J.K. Rowling said was controversial or not. It's not my place to speak. I'm 13. I don't have a voice in politics, so I'm not going to speak. However, I will say this. J.K. Rowling is the author of the biggest piece of child entertainment in history. So, she should probably stick to that, or probably separate herself from her books, pretty much her whole franchise, and her own personal life. She probably shouldn't bring up her political views and her thoughts on transgender and racism and stuff like that, while also talking about Harry Potter at the same time. But that just seems to be what she always does. On the same Twitter account, which, by the way, she spends like 24 hours on Twitter. She never gets off. That's probably why she's not writing as many Harry Potter books anymore. She's just on Twitter all day. That's what she does all day. And in the same profile, she talks about Harry Potter, the newest stuff in Harry Potter, and talks about politics. I personally think you should separate the two. And she doesn't. Very rarely does she separate the two. Which, honestly, if you're making children entertainment stuff, and you're still making children entertainment stuff, she's making plays on Harry Potter. She's still heavily invested into the new Dumbledore movies. So she's still very much into Harry Potter, which is wildly, created for kids. So, if you're making kid stuff, appeal to kids. Be someone that appeals to a child demographic. And that's something she just kind of can't do. She has to bring up politics, which is extremely annoying. Now, once again, I'm not going to bring up whether what she said is bad or not. That's not my place to speak. But because of her constantly being political in an area where she shouldn't be political, she's now putting politics into her books and into her movies. Streaming services worldwide are now, I believe on like August 31st, removing every single Harry Potter movie, every single Dumbledore movie. They're removing it from every streaming service, costing probably tens of millions of dollars for Harry Potter. Now, why would they do this? Because J.K. Rowling can't shut her mouth. That's pretty much the reason why. J.K. Rowling has said so many controversial things in the past, while at the same time talking about Harry Potter, that many streaming services have now gone out of their way to say we don't want anything to do with Harry Potter because J.K. Rowling is constantly changing it and she's constantly saying bad things. Or that's their own words. Once again, I don't have a voice in this. I'm not political. J.K., you... Listen, I get that she made the biggest piece of child entertainment ever, but I'm just gonna get it out of the way. She's an idiot. I like Harry Potter, I really do. I've gotten into Harry Potter all summer, and I'm genuinely a big fan of it. I can't find myself to like JK Rowling. She is such an imbecile to where she has to bring politics into her child-related products to the point now where it's getting pulled from streaming services, right? This is crazy. This is wild. Because she can't just shut her mouth, or because she can't separate herself from her films. You know what? I would be fine if she talked about politics. I'd be fine if she talked about it if she separated herself from it. She doesn't. Like I said, she constantly brings up politics into her movies, constantly brings politics into her plays and stuff like that. Like, I believe in 2007, she came out and said, Dumbledore is gay now, and then said Hermione was in, like, a wheelchair or something like that. I could just be getting that from a Gus Johnson sketch, but I believe she actually did say that. And it'd be fine if this was, like, actually incorporated into the films at first, but now it just seemed like she's trying to be PC. And also seems like she's trying to cover herself because she said a lot of political stuff that a lot of people didn't necessarily agree with. And she continues to say this stuff, never stopping after people have given her tons of criticism about it. And now it's getting removed from streaming services because she can't just shut up. She can't just separate herself from her films. Like I said, I'd be fine if she talked about politics and not. She has one Twitter account. I'd be fine if she had two Twitter accounts, where on one, it's her business one. She talks about Harry Potter, stuff like that, talks about the newest stuff in Harry Potter. And the other, she, as the 14-year-olds on Instagram say, go off. I would be perfectly fine with that. But she just doesn't. She just can't for some ungodly known reason. I can't speak right now. I can't speak right now. It's such an idiotic thing to bring up politics in a child-related series, in a child-related franchise, in a child-related movie franchise, book franchise, and not just, some unknown one. Harry Potter is one of the biggest pieces of entertainment ever created. Like I said at the beginning of this video, you may not be a fan of Harry Potter, but mostly everyone knows who Harry Potter is, who Voldemort is, who Ronald Weasley is, who Dumbledore is, who Hermione Granger is. People know these characters because Harry Potter is massive. Most people don't watch Harry Potter for the politics. They watch it simply to just go in and have a good time and, get dive into the world of magic. And a lot of people do it through streaming services, because streaming services are like the number one piece of streaming stuff in the world right now. That's how a lot of people watch Harry Potter. That's how I found Harry Potter. The way I found Harry Potter was watching it on HBO Max. But now, it's getting removed from HBO Max. I believe it's getting removed from Peacock, but I don't know yet. It's getting removed from pretty much every streaming service because she has to put politics into her stuff. And she has to say stupid political stuff when she can really just not talk about it because she has a massive child audience. Like, this would be freaking Dan TDM. This would be as if Dan TDM came onto a video once and said, let me get my British accent. Like, it'd be as if Dan TDM one day just made a video being like, oi, my, biscuits, crisps, I'm not a big fan of Joe Biden. I personally think he should die. Also subscribe to my next Minecraft video. That's pretty much what it's like. You have a child audience. Children are mainly what follow you and respect you. And instead, you have to instead of just appealing to children and doing what you've always done, you have to bring politics into it. This is why I mainly don't respect people like H3H3 anymore. I used to be a big fan of H3H3 Productions. I love them. They were hilarious. But they started getting politics into it. I'm not here to listen to your political rants, Ethan. I'm here to just listen to you, talk about freaking the cringiest guy on the internet. That's hilarious. Can you not bring up your personal opinion on who you think should have won the 2017 election? Thank you very much, you absolute scumbag. Like I said 100 times, and I'll say it again, if you separated it, I would be perfectly fine with this. But you don't. You don't separate it. You have to get politics into your child-related book series, and I can't respect that. I just can't. I'm probably going to continue to enjoy Harry Potter, but probably not JK Rowling, because she's an idiot, and because of her actions, she's gotten it pretty much removed from one of the only ways you can still watch the movies. So watch, JK.